Welcome to the Drivin Agricultural Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Joe Hollabaugh, professional breakaway roper and a member of the Ag Truck Trader Pro Rodeo team. Here at Drivin Agriculture, we are all things agriculture all the time, and our main priority is doing what's best in the ag space, talking trucks. So strap in and let's go roll some coal. This week, we are highlighting the FFA because it's kind of a big deal. It's FFA week. What are we all about? We're all things agriculture here on the Drivin Agriculture podcast. And so no better person than Lyle Orwig to join us today and talk about all things FFA. So Lyle, thanks for coming to the show.
My pleasure. It's always good. And if there's a topic that I like more than the Certified Agriculture Group, it's FFA. Certainly, when I was going through FFA during high school and everything, that's what it stood for, Future Farmers of America. And you'll be happy to know that I was one of the attendees at the National FFA Convention back in 1968 and 69. And that was the year that all of us smart guys voted to allow women to be part of FFA. Prior to that, it was
Thank you.
only club, or actually a boys only club. We hadn't grown up yet. Um, and so FFA itself uh, um, did stand for Future Farmers of America, but of course, agriculture is much broader and much more than just farmers. So the organization dropped that and say that naming and went to just FFA. And when people ask me, well, it stands for Future Farmers of America, I say, well, not anymore. It really stands for food farming in America, because that's what FFA is really about. It trains kids, gives them an opportunity to get an education about and everything from computers to the trades of welding and construction, etc. You know, one of my FFA projects was to build a picnic table for the home farm, and learn how to do that correctly. So FFA means a lot more than just farming. It means everything involved in agriculture.
I have the one and only Mr. Pat Driscoll here with us to share with us his FFA story of when God made a farmer. So, thank you for taking the time to share with us your history. We're celebrating FFA week, and this is an amazing story. I can't wait to hear it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was before I was even an FFA member. It was part of what inspired me to be an FFA member. I grew up agriculture, and really had never been exposed to FFA, but had some friends who were. I had an opportunity to go to the National FFA Convention in 1978, where Paul Harvey was the speaker and delivered "God Made a Farmer." So it was pretty amazing. FFA had a huge impact. It I don't want to say it forced you. It moved you to accept a level of responsibility in your daily life, and how you interact with other people, and how you advocate, and in this case for agriculture.
It is the National Day of Service here at the FFA week, and I am here with the FFA president, Miss Molly Ball. Molly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yep. So National FFA Week is always the week of George Washington's birthday. So George Washington being one of our founding fathers of agriculture in America. We've had it here on George Washington's birthday for many, many years. But yesterday, so Sunday, was SAE Sunday, so Supervised Agricultural Experience. So we highlighted students' projects from across the country, just some really unique things. Almost every student in a classroom has part of their FFA journey as a supervised agricultural experience. So that's pretty cool. Today is National Day of Service. So we have FFA members across the country getting out there and serving their community. Part of the FFA model is living to serve, and that's what we do across the country during National FFA Week. So we have program called Washington Leadership Conference. It used to be called Washington Conference Program in Washington, D.C. We've had it for over 50 years. We're turning on 60, where we take students from across the country and introduce them to all the things in Washington, D.C. But really, it's about service, how these people served our country. And so I think that just sort of changed my trajectory of saying, this is something that I want to be a part of for forever. But I think also the friendships, and of course, my ag teacher. They truly are the ones who believe in you, that push you, that say, you can do whatever you want. And I'm going to take this kid out of the back of the classroom and make you into something that you don't know what we're going to turn you into.
And we're here with Scott Stump. Scott, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be with you. And at the beginning here on President's Day and the beginning of FFA Week, what a great celebration. Yeah, we are celebrating that we've got over 1 million students, 1,027,000 across the nation, from fifth grade through seniors in high school, and some that are even continuing their membership past high school to be state officers or to receive their American degree. But we're celebrating what we believe is our purpose, which is to grow that next generation of leaders who are going to change the world and communities across this nation. And as we look at what those students are going to do in the future, they're going to be the entrepreneurs. They're going to start the small businesses in rural and urban communities. They're going to be the ones who are going to be the farmers and ranchers who are going to keep this wonderful tradition of providing the world the safest, most abundant, and most economical food supply that we've got. They're going to solve the big problems of how do we have enough water to ensure that work moving forward. And so we look forward to coming alongside them and helping them find their path in agriculture to make their difference.
Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Drivin Agricultural Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Joe Hollabaugh, and I am welcomed today by two very accomplished men in their industry and some pretty big people in the Ag Pack Partner business that we call Certified Ag Group. So I want to welcome in Jake Beam and Mr. Jay Brown. Thank you guys both so much for joining us today on the podcast. But it is Smart Irrigation Month. I don't know if anybody else knew that. And so I'm excited about this episode today, excited to visit with you guys and debunk, what is smart irrigation?
Yeah, Jake Beam. I'm a technical sales manager here for Ranke Manufacturing. Ranke Manufacturing is a family-based company, family-owned company out of Deschler, Nebraska. And we are a pivot manufacturer or irrigation manufacturer, right? So we make center pivots, lateral move systems, those types of things.
Yes, I'm from Central Georgia. I grew up in the irrigation business. I've been doing it about 20 years. Started our own business, Brown Irrigation, about 4 years ago. We got offices in Hawkinsville and Tifton, and we're a Rinky dealer, and we use a lot of their technology products and everything else, as well as we've used the Ag Pack system and buy a lot of Ram trucks and all that kind of stuff with all our stuff there.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get confused or kind of pigeonhole ourselves in smart irrigation. A lot of times we think about using new technology and phones and all that kind of stuff. One of the biggest things that Ranke is offering this summer, we're releasing our new E3 system, and it's a new brand of pivot. It's our third series or third generation of pivot, and the biggest thing that's probably going to influence the industry the most is that no matter which, so when you think about building a pivot, right, every field's a little different. We just talked about that, right? So stuff from Colorado down to Georgia, down to Kansas, it's all a little different. But with this new E3 system, no matter what size of pivot you put out there, no matter how long it is, we're going to get uniform spacing going across our outlets, going down the system. And that's from the center point all the way to the end. Now, for the a little bit greener people, what that means is that if you think about a pivot, think about if we're watering corn, right? That very end of the pivot, think about how many more plants it covers in the very beginning part of the pivot.
Right.
As it goes around the field, it's covering an immense amount part of our field. So we have to put more water out at the end of the pivot than we do at the beginning. So if we think about that, and if we do that very uniformly and evenly all the way out, our uniformity goes up, which then increases our efficiency. And then we can start saving on fossil fuels, fertilizers, all input costs. That's a big one coming up.
Right, because I mean, both scenarios in the farming, you're going to need trucks and you're going to need irrigation equipment. And so if you combine together and use them kind of people that's got the ag pack system going on, well, that's an instant $2,500 savings on that. And then any of these ag producers that's of any size, $1,000 worth of parts, it's just getting them started for the day. And so that, I mean, at a minimum with that relationship, you saving that $3,500.
Yeah.
And it's just back again. The bottom lines are always tight, and they're tighter this year. And that $3,500 makes a big difference.
Okay, guys, so here we are today with the Drivin Agricultural Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Joe Hollabaugh. I could not be more excited to be here today with my two great friends who are the foundation of this podcast. Welcome, Mr. Pat Driscoll and Peyton Valentine. Welcome to the show today.
I got to say, I'm equally as excited, Jordan Joe, not just that we're doing this Drivin Agriculture podcast, but that you're hosting it for us. Couldn't be more thrilled, more excited, and more anxious to see what comes.
Yeah, I'm super excited, Jordan. There's going to be so many things that listeners can look forward to, so many things that we're going to be talking about, and we're just excited to come out of the chute strong and let them know what they can look forward to.
You're dang right. We're all excited. We've been planning this and dreaming about this and talking about this podcast forever. And it's just so excited to see it come into fruition. What a way to kick off the year 2025. And we've got some really, really, really big things coming up in everything agriculture and everything that we're doing. So, Pat, I'm going to hand the mic over to you, which is a familiar place that you've been in your career. But tell me a little bit about Pat Driscoll and why we're here doing the Drivin Agricultural Podcast.
Well, I feel like there needs to be a little bit of an explanation on the familiarity. 30 years on the air as a farm broadcaster is the familiarity with a microphone. But I got to tell you, Jordan, a lot more fun being on this side of the mic than that side of the mic. So, especially when you get to have somebody as talented as you behind the microphone driving this whole thing. How do you like that little tie-in? Yeah. Okay.
Wow,
So,
that was super nice. He's setting me up for failure here.
No, you're setting us up for success. We love that. But no, when I guess when you want to know who Pat Driscoll is and what's going on here, it's a lifetime of agriculture and always wanting to share agriculture story and trying to do positive things for agriculture. And it doesn't matter what I've been involved with from FFA in high school to the farm broadcast career. But even when I'm wearing a Furniture Row Racing sweatshirt right now. We were in the NASCAR Cup Series working with the team and major music festivals and whatnot. We always looked for ways to incorporate agriculture into what we did and took those life experiences and kind of brought them all together under the Certified Agriculture Program, where now we've found a major void between the automotive industry and agriculture, even though the automotive industry, specifically the truck industry, is so important to agriculture and our ability to get our job done every day. And we have focused all of our efforts on filling that void from making dealers that are smarter agriculture dealers so they feel more like a tractor dealership or feed or seed dealer. When you think about it, everything that we buy for our farms and ranches, we work with dealers who only work with farmers and ranchers until we go to buy our trucks. And then we're typically working with a minivan salesperson, and it can be frustrating. So we're trying to fix that, and then to fill in with very ag specific products through the purchase and truck ownership experience and cycle, specialty financing, specialty extended service contracts, and now with Ag Wagon, a specialty truck designed by farmers and ranchers for farmers and ranchers. So, again, that lifetime of experience has brought us here. And then you say foundation, and you included my name in there, which I appreciate, but undeserved. It really is Jordan Joe and Peyton that have brought this thing to fruition. And so I think in order to fully explain the foundation of what we're doing here today with Drivin Agriculture, we need to turn things over to Peyton.
Well, we most certainly do. Peyton Valentine is somebody I feel like does not get enough limelight. She is always that woman who is behind the scenes with her head down, driving. She's cheering us on, which we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But she is the glue that holds us all together, and she is pushing us forward to just driving into success everywhere we go in all areas that we do. I mean, we're talking about agriculture, and basically you guys have covered everything, a blanket of agriculture, all things agriculture under there.
Involved in rodeo, but once they're around it enough, they go, aha.
Yeah, the light bulb comes on.
Aha. And I've had my aha moments, as you guys know, but that's one of the reasons that I feel challenged.
And I am here today with my fellow Ag Pack certified ag, all things ag, Peyton Valentine. Welcome to the show today, Peyton.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for having me back on. I feel like, just make me a co-host at this point. Everyone's going to get tired of hearing me talk, but there are so many great things to talk about. So here I am again. I am just so excited to share the whole story of the Certified Ag Group as a whole. Under our whole group umbrella, we have Ag Truck Trader, which is our online marketplace where customers can go and browse inventory from all of our certified ag dealers all across the United States. They can register for their Ag Pack ID and look at all the benefits that they can get just because they buy their truck from one of those certified ag dealers. We have CAD-FI financing. We have CAD Protect with our service contracts for the warranties. And there's just so many pieces under our whole umbrella that I'm just really excited to unpack and talk about them all. And today we're starting with Ag Pack.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Yeah, it's the biggest value to the customers, in my opinion.
What is Ag Truck Trader, and is it for real? Like, is it really that good of a deal? And so
to really understand Ag Pack, we need to understand our certified ag dealers. So these are just regular franchise dealers, Ford, Ram, GMC, Chevy, Toyota, Nissan, whatever brand that you're accustomed to buying from already. Like it might be your dealer down the road. We take those dealers that have raised their hand to be a part of our program and we give them specific ag training so that they better understand the agriculture customer. They speak the language, they understand their needs. And honestly, to be a part of our program, we require somebody from parts, service, and sales. We encourage lots more than that, but that is the minimum that have to go through ag training to be able to better serve these customers. When they sign up to be a part of the program, there's benefits to the dealers because we believe, rising tides raise all sails. Win, 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 win for everybody, right? So for the dealers, their benefits is they get to list their inventory on agtrucktrader.com. All of the inventory that is on the website there is going to be Ag Pack eligible. So customers don't have to scour through hours and hours on the internet trying to find the perfect farm and ranch vehicles because we have it all in one place. And they know all of these vehicles on the website are going to come with Ag Pack.
I'm Peyton Valentine and here with our new Ag Pack partners, Omar with Valley Vet. Omar, thanks so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So we are really excited. Of course, we're excited for all of our Ag Pack partners that are coming on board, but Valley Vet is kind of unique. It's a segment that we haven't really tapped into for our farmers and ranchers yet. Why don't we tell the listeners a little bit about who Valley Vet is and how you guys got your start? Because that story is really pretty cool.
Thank you. We're really proud of our history. Our history really started as a veterinary practice in Marysville, Kansas. Dr. Arnold Nagley and Dr. Ray Schultz were the two founders. Dr. Nagley started the animal practice in 1973 and then was joined by Dr. Schultz in 1976. They practiced veterinary medicine really through the mid-90s when they sold the practice to a husband-wife couple. And in between that phase, in 1985, the two families went down to the local newspaper and worked a couple of days and nights putting together the first homespun newspaper print catalog. And that is really what started Valley Vet Supply. When the doctors were serving their clients, they would have people that would call them and say, Doc, I can't come in to get my medicine today. Can you just ship it to us? And that's what prompted the thought, maybe we can make a business out of this shipping medicine thing. And so that started the homespun catalog in 1985. So today, the way Valley Vet looks to our customers is we ship all over the country. We've shipped to all 50 states. We ship to some U.S. territories. We ship to some military bases overseas. And We do that across a spectrum of apparel to tack and supplies for horses, to livestock equipment and supplies, and of course, pharmacy items.
And I am here with another one of our newest AgPack partners, Miss Erin DeLong from Durango Boots. So, Erin, thanks for joining us today on the podcast.
Yeah, so we were founded in 1966. So we've now crossed over the 50-year mark. We're actually encroaching now on 60 years soon to be, which is hard to
cool.
believe. We actually are headquartered in Ohio, and some people may not know that, but we're under the parent company, Rocky Brands Incorporated. So we're one of 4 other wholesale footwear brands that Rocky owns, but we are the Western division, and I like to say the fun team in the fun division. But we manufacture and wholesale men, women, and kids products. So our assortment and our brand portfolio covers a wide demographic of different types of styles. Yeah, well, first off, we're so honored to align ourselves with the AgPack team. I met Pat Driscoll last year in person, and we kind of talked a little bit more about the partnership and what AgPack does to our farm and ranch and rural communities. And I thought, my gosh, we share the same consumers every single day, those blue collar individuals that are looking for, maybe a price centric product that's going to last for their demanding lifestyles. And so throughout all of that, I thought this is kind of a no brainer. This is a hand in glove fit for both of us. And so this now has birthed from the last, 6 to 9 months to now that we're here, and we're very excited. And, we have a lot of synergy. A lot of other Western brands that we work with also work with AgPack. So it was kind of like a no brainer on, hey, we're all coming together. We're rallying together to make our Western industry even better.
Mr. Steele Hunter and his 2 companies, Mill Spec Liner, as well as the Fuel Box. So, Mr. Steele, thank you for coming to the show today.
MilSpec is our primary company that we started over 5 years ago, been in the industry for 20 plus years. It's a spray-in protective coating that a lot of people know it as a truck bed liner. The spray-in bed liner goes in the bed of your truck to protect from everyday damage, wear and tear on the farm, the ranch, and everyday life. We also use it for exterior coatings and rocker panels, grill guards, bumpers, those kind of things as well. And just enough protective coating. The fuel box is our fuel tank and toolbox combination that we, of course, it's sprayed with the fuel box, MilSpec liner to give it added protection. It's a extremely heavy duty walled, 100% aluminum, 100% made in the USA fuel box and toolbox combo. We have a patented monitoring system that plugs into your factory plug underneath your dash. It monitors the amount of fuel in the tank and in your truck, so that when it automatically knows when your truck hits a quarter tank, it'll go ahead and fill that truck back up to 3/4 of a tank. And
Awesome.
So you can roll down the road and give you added range. You can also have it, just leave it off. A lot of my farm and ranch guys, we leave it off so we can have it. We have an auxiliary transfer pump in it as well, option, so we can fill our tractors, our skid loaders, sometimes our UTVs as well.
God, family, country. That's what we're all about, and that's huge. And just being a part of that's our foundation, and that's where we begin at AgPack, knowing that that's where our partners are, and that partnership meets halfway. It's super important to us too. And I would like to welcome Zach Bauer to the show with Rayco Builders. Zach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. We're pumped. Yeah, well, Rayco Builders was established back in 2009 with Tom Jurgens, owner, founder, and he'd been in the industry for many years of doing steel buildings, construction, and just saw a need for quality products, quality construction. And so he started Rayco. And over the years, it has really developed into a full service construction company, general contracting, with a really focused emphasis on steel building and concrete, which we self-perform all that with an in-house drafter, designer.
Zach, welcome to the AgPack team. We're very
Thank you.
excited to have you. Thank you for joining us and sharing about Rayco Builders today. I am here with the one and only, our team leader, Mr. Leighton Berry. Leighton, thanks for coming to the show today.
Oh, thanks for having me. We have some pretty exciting news to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So last week, everybody that first listened to our very first episode on the podcast heard that we had a huge announcement
Well, in a roundabout way, Jordan, we've come a long way with this rodeo team through Ag Truck Trader, and we're so happy to announce that Ag Truck Trader is going to be the official Ag Truck professional rodeo. So all the new Ag wagons, the Pro Rodeo Edition Ag trucks, they're all going to be through Pro Rodeo, and we're so excited to announce that partnership and to see how far this company has come along and brought this to the front table of professional rodeo. To make this happen this quick is unbelievable, and we're just so happy to announce it.
Really why it's so special is because this has been in fruition for a couple years for us. But I just remember coming on the Ag Truck Trader Pro Rodeo team. It was just so new and real. And we're actually a team component. We have somebody in every event to then now 2 years later showing up and we're the official partner of the PRCA. We're knocking in at big doors here.
Pretty much every nook and cranny on this vehicle is something that is related to what we do, whether it's going up and down the road, professionally rodeoing, or like you said, feeding cattle at home, working on the farm, ranch, doesn't matter what it is. It has everything that you can possibly imagine. And to be able to, I know it's going to help because for me, getting a truck and bringing it home and looking at it completely dry and empty, and me knowing that I've got to put a lot of time and effort into getting it to where I need for work, for rodeo, and whatever that may be, that all goes away now. You can get this truck, and as soon as it arrives at your doorstep, you're ready to go put it to work. And I think that's what's going to be a game changer, because we know how busy farmers and ranchers and us rodeoing, and most of us doing all three, how little time we have to step away and try to get our vehicle ready to do what we need it to do and perform the way we need it to perform.
Today with Mr. Scott Vickery. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
He has been a victor for the Ag Truck Trader Pro Rodeo team because he's brought us what we see right behind us, the Ag wagons.
And so the thought was, instead of like working around the truck, why don't we develop a purpose-built agricultural truck that's not brand reliant, to giving us the flexibility that we need in terms of, the ultimate consumer could choose their chassis, but the parts and pieces really represent that Ag wagon. We stepped back and said, how do we do this? And so we brought in the 14 different farmers and ranchers. Everybody gave their feedback. This is what I do. This is what I change. This is what I like. This is what I dislike. And what we ended up with was a list of like 28 modifications to the truck. And here's the thing that really kind of just, I think it's cool how it came together. This is truly the first purpose-built agricultural vehicle, across the board. Right. But it also looks amazing.
I'm here today at the NADA in New Orleans, Louisiana with Mr. Paul Woody, CMO of the PRCA Rodeo. We had some pretty exciting news today. We announced a big partnership with Pro Rodeo and the Certified Ag Group. Tell us a little bit about that, Paul.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We had to leave Colorado and come down here to Louisiana. We could have just done this at the office, been a little bit better. But no, we were extremely excited today to announce that Ag Truck is going to be the official licensed truck partner of Pro Rodeo, and we announced the Pro Rodeo Special Edition, which visually I think is the coolest thing we've ever done. Well, first of all, if anybody knows anything about a cowboy, they don't have much time. And so to be able to do this in one package is time efficient and it makes sense. And so for us, I see this growing.
Mr. Pat Driscoll, who is the head of our team and all things Ag Truck Trader Certified Ag Group. What's going through your mind today and your emotions as we've unveiled this amazing Ag wagon so everybody could see it because it's amazing, and also the relationship with the PRCA that we're building out, that you guys and your team have built out for the year coming up, 2025?
Well, the first thing that's going through my mind is a little bit of humor, because you say fearless leader, and I say if you throw a snake in the mix, you're going to see a lot of fear. There you go.
Run fast.
There you go. You got a little bit of tidbit information about Driscoll. Now, what's going through my mind right now, Jordan, is just it's almost a sense of relief in some ways. Obviously, a huge sense of excitement, but now we've got it all out there. We've been sitting on this for a while. And that's hard to do when you're sitting there wanting to tell the world you're the new truck partner of PRCA, the new truck of PRCA. Oh, and by the way, we've got the Pro Rodeo Special Edition Ag Wagon. That is a lot to sit on and not be able to share for a long time. So a sense of relief, but also it's that sense of excitement, because we're able to show the rodeo world that we're here, that we believe in this rodeo life. And as I shared in our comments during the reveal, I've really learned. I grew up Eastern agriculture. I didn't grow up rodeo, but what I have learned over the past few years, largely through you guys, our pro team, is that agriculture and rodeo are hand in glove.
Hey, folks, we're back here with the Drivin Agriculture podcast, but this time we're switching the driver's seat a little bit. We're going to switch it up on Jordan Joe here and put her on the passenger seat and ask you some questions about this ag wagon. So, Jordan, we just revealed the Pro Rodeo Special Edition Ag Wagon. That was actually one that you, as well as the other 4 members of the Ag Truck Trader Pro Rodeo team, helped design. You jumped on the phone with the Fox Factory engineers. You told them what your perfect rodeo truck would be, what your perfect ranch truck would be, and this is the product of that standing right behind us today. Tell me, how does it feel? What are you thinking? How are you feeling right now, actually seeing the result of those conversations?
I'm just blown away. I was just telling the Fox Factory people, it's like the truck has an electric atmosphere about it. And, just knowing that literally we said, what is your dream truck? And I never would have thought they could actually make it come true. But literally everything we asked for is in this truck right here. And, I think the coolest thing about it for me today is I thought that as this truck was being designed, the Pro Rodeo Edition is always exciting. But I'm like, it's going to be more geared more for an agricultural truck or a ranch truck or things like that. And as I'm walking around, like viewing all 28 components today, I can see where I'll be able to use this truck in the rodeo world throughout the year as we travel up and down the road. I think I'll use probably all but maybe 1 or 2 components, which is small, but literally this is where we live. This is what we do. And the Fox team has given us every single component we asked for in this truck. And I think it's pretty exciting.